human life, about our complacency in a middle class or upper middle class environment. I mean, those things are all extremely powerful.
This is madness.
Sometimes a lady likes to have some fun.
And then there's the favorite, checking all the right nomination boxes.
I love the fact that The Favorite featured women in all the most significant roles.
A film's perspective on race may cost some of the contenders the coveted award. Though beautifully executed, 5 Oscar nominee Green Book, a moving dramedy about the bond between...
Well, the Strathmore Drama Society presents an adapted version of A Doll's House by Henrik Ibsen, which traces the awakening of Nora Husner from a previously unexamined life of domestic wifely comfort. It is said that the darkest hour comes before dawn. Well, Fitzgerald Mugure and Eric Kitili are part of the cast, are with us in the studio today. Good afternoon, guys. Good to see you. Tell us a bit more about this play, A Doll's House.
Good afternoon to you too. We are staging a play by the name A Doll's House. We are staging a play by the name Doll's House. Simply, we have 2 scenes here, the scene 1 and scene 2. I'll do an introduction of the first scene. In the first scene, we're having Timothy Husner and their wife, Nora. They're having controversial issues on their finances. Like Nora, basically, she's a spendthrift. She wants to use all the money in the house. Timothy Husner is a man who takes control of the wife, and such are the situations that we find in the current society. That is what we have in the first scene.
Timothy, darling, come see what I've bought.
What? Has my little doll been overspending again?
Overspending? I've not overspent, Timothy.
But these things are so expensive, and you know we shouldn't be spending recklessly, Nora.
Timothy, they were cheap.
Really?
These things were cheap, Timothy. Furthermore, this is the only time we get to spend without economizing, dear.
Why would you say that?
Well,
Okay? But you see, that salary comes next year, Nora. At the end of January. What are we supposed to do between now and
darling,
January?
we can borrow.
Borrow?
Yes.
Now, let's say, for example, that I borrow 50,000 and you spend it over Christmas. And then on the 1st of January, something happens.
Don't say such horrid things,
But what if
darling.
it happens and I die?
Then we forget about the lenders.
Will the lenders forget about us?
That's none of our business, Timothy.
But Nora, the lenders will not forget about us, and they'll come for that money. You see, this is so typical of women. This is your problem. You're just like your father. All you think about is spending, 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 even if it means being in debt for it. As for me, there can be no freedom and no beauty in my house if that house is full of debts.
Typical of a man.
Nora, that has to be the last time you're spending money in this house.
Good.
It's done.
Hi guys, so we are moving on to the last scene of the play, where we basically explore Nora has finally found her own freedom, and she realized that Timothy has been using her as a doll. So Timothy is wondering, what will I tell people? How can he accept the fact that his wife is going to leave him for a better life, for better things? Let's go on to the next scene.
Timothy, you see, as of now, I am no longer your wife.
But Nora, I can be a different man.
Different? Timothy, you can only be a different man if your doll is taken away from you.
But Nora, this whole idea of us separating, us being apart, I don't understand.
Well, you don't understand because it's not been done yet, Timothy.
So forget about this. Listen. Let's talk about this tomorrow. Clearly you're tired. Let's go to bed and we can talk about this tomorrow.
Go to bed on a stranger man's bed?
We can sleep as brother and sister.
Wow, as brother and sister. Did I hear you correctly, Timothy? As brother and sister? That can never happen.
What about your kids, Nora? Are you going to leave your kids like that?
Well, my nanny has taken care of me from I was a small girl. She has the control of the house. Everything is under control, Timothy.
But your kids will need you someday. What about that, Nora?
You know, I don't even know what I am going to be, Timothy.
You'll become my wife. Whatever you're going to become, you'll still be my wife.
See, let me tell you one thing about the society. When a wife leaves her husband's home, a man should be happy because we remove the obligation and the burden that we are your wife. You should be glad I'm leaving this house.
I don't want you to leave, Nora. I don't want you to leave. Let me take care of you. Let me take care of your needs. Am I not allowed to do that?
No, Timothy.
Let me buy
I
you the things you need.
want nothing from you. Can't you get that?
Can't I even text you or WhatsApp you?
Nothing. Timothy, I want nothing.
So I'm just going to be a stranger to you.
Well, yes, you will be a stranger.
And I'm never going to be anything more than that. Ever.